Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is Richie from Jets Media, and in this video, I'll be breaking down day 12 of New York Jets training camp. This is September 1st. There is 10 days until Jets versus the Bills. This is an interesting day of practice, and I'm excited to bring you guys the report. You guys have been killing it in the comment section, and the subscription button, and the like button. I really appreciate all the support on this channel, and I'm really excited for the future of this channel as well. I posted my first Madden 21 video yesterday. You guys want to see more Madden 21 videos, I will be putting out a lot of Madden content in the future. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, let's jump right into today's report. So, starting off with the bad news as usual, but don't worry, there's some positive news in the injury update. We'll start off with the positive news. Two players that returned from injury and participated fully in practice today were guys like Brian Poole and Greg Van Roten. Brian Poole's been out with dehydration. He battled ever since the first day of practice. He has an underlying illness, which he battled last year in training camp as well. So it's really good to see Brian Poole suit up and be on the field with the team, doing team drills and all that good stuff. And Greg Van Roten, he was battling an oblique injury. Luckily, it was just an oblique strain, which is only a couple days to recover. If it was an oblique tear, he would have been out for months. So it's a really good sign that Greg Van Roten's back, because we need all five of these offensive linemen to be playing together every single day of practice, getting as much reps as possible, because chemistry is key for offensive lineman growth. So, going into the bad news. Oh wait, actually, before I get into the bad news of the injuries, there is another positive sign. La'Mical Perine, he went down with an ankle injury at the green and white scrimmage, and it was really concerning. Luckily, MRI's come back, no fracture, no ligament damage, only a low ankle sprain. That is really good news for La'Mical Perine. That means he's only going to be out for a short amount of time, definitely not a long-term injury. And Adam Gase is shocked because that hit he took in practice was pretty gruesome, and they're really happy that La'Mical Perine will be back in the short run. So that's really good news for La'Mical Perine, going into some players that did not practice today and left today's practice with tightness. So, as usual, Denzel, Mims, Pierre, Desir, those two did not practice, but they're both on their way to practicing. They both participated in conditioning and stretching before they were suited up to practice, and they are on track to be practicing this week, if not next week. So that's a good sign for Denzel and Pierre. Marcus Maye sat out of practice today with calf tightness, and that was in the green and white scrimmage. Adam Gase did not want to put Marcus Maye out there because he's dealing with a calf problem, so he did not practice as well, which is a little concerning, but hopefully it's not going to linger on and they're just being precautionary. And Patrick Anuasor, or I'll just call him Peanut because I can never say this guy's name right, he will be out 4 to 5 weeks with a knee injury. And some players that left today's practice with tightness is guys like Braxton Berrios, Jamison Crowder, and Chris Herndon. This is really concerning because those three players are Sam Darnold's weapons, and it seems like any weapon that Sam Darnold gets chemistry with, he just goes down. I mean, Chris Herndon's battling a chest issue. He has tightness. We don't know anything. At the moment I'm recording this video, we don't know anything besides it's just tightness. We're hoping it's not going to linger on. Hopefully it's just a little dehydration and it's just causing a little tightness in the chest, and he'll be loosened up and be able to practice tomorrow because we need Chris Herndon out there. Jamison Crowder and Braxton Berrios, we don't know what was tight, but Adam Gase just said they were tight, so they just pulled them out of precautionary reasons, which is understandable because we do not want to see players out there that are tight because they're more vulnerable for injuries. So yeah, those three players left practice with tightness. So yeah, enough with these injury updates. I hate talking about this because it's definitely the most annoying part of football and sports in general. So going into what happened in today's training camp, Sam Darnold had these receivers to throw the ball to: Josh Malone, Jehu Cheesor, and Donte Moncrief. Donte Moncrief's first day of practice, and he's already on the field with the first team. That's really tells you how bad his wide receivers are. Sam Darnold, he led an impressive drive with guys like Josh Malone and Jehu Cheesor at the wide receivers. And for Sam Darnold to have a 2-minute drill and drive down the field with ease, and Josh Malone actually had a nice catch. These two receivers are no names. I mean, they have no experience in the NFL. They barely have any receptions in their career. So these guys are like practice squad, like players who were like guys that are barely going to make the roster, who are on the first team for this Jets, because Jamison Crowder was not practicing. Brashad Perriman, Braxton Berrios, you guys know who are not practicing. So Sam Darnold had these receivers to work with, and Sam Darnold elevated them and led to a 2-minute drill down the field, and Sam Ficken nailed a 30-yard field goal, which is a good sign for Ficken. So one player that stepped in as well for an injured Marcus Maye is Ashtyn Davis. Rookie Ashtyn Davis is continuing to flash in camp. He came in on the first team, and what does he do? He has another interception. That's his second interception of camp. He picks off Sam Darnold in a 7-on-7, and that just shows you that Ashtyn Davis is going to be the future of this Jets secondary. He really excites me. Every time he gets an opportunity to shine, it seems like he's there. He has the feel for the game. He has the speed. He has every single tool you want in a safety. He's a hybrid safety. He's so versatile. He can be a special teams guy. So Ashtyn Davis continues to flash, continues to impress, and I'm so high on Ashtyn Davis, and I'm so happy that Joe Douglas went out there and drafted him in the 3rd round because, as we know, Jamal Adams is gone, and we had one of the best safeties in the league. Hopefully, Ashtyn Davis, as time progresses, he can develop himself and become one of the top safeties. He really has potential, especially with Marcus Maye next to him. If hopefully Marcus Maye's injury is not severe, it's only calf tightness, so he's just in there for the starters. But I really expect Ashtyn Davis to be on the field with all these creative packages for Greg Williams, even if Marcus Maye and Bradley McDougald are healthy. Expect Ashtyn Davis to be on the field with the starters throughout different packages because he's so versatile, and I think Ashtyn Davis has a really bright future on this Jets team. Another player who is continuing to get more reps and more targets ever since their conversation is running back Le'Veon Bell. Seems like ever since that Twitter beef happened with, Adam Gase pulled Le'Veon Bell out of practice because he has hamstring tightness. Le'Veon Bell goes to Twitter saying, my hamstrings are fine. I don't know what's going on. You guys know what happened. Ever since then, Adam Gase and Le'Veon Bell had a really man-to-man discussion about it, and ever since then, Le'Veon Bell's been getting the ball. Le'Veon Bell's been catching passes. Adam Gase said in an interview that we never really got Le'Veon Bell into his space last year, and he mentioned that we're going to be utilizing Le'Veon Bell all over the offense, which is huge. Here's a video from the green and white scrimmage yesterday that really shined, and this is what I want Adam Gase to do with this offense. Frank Gore is lined up at a halfback. Le'Veon Bell is split out wide, and he goes out and has a back shoulder dime from Sam Darnold and goes out there and has a contested back shoulder catch. We need Le'Veon Bell lining up at the wide receivers. We know how depleted this wide receiving group is because of injuries, and I love this wide receiver group. I really do if healthy. Like if Rashad Perriman, Denzel Mims, and Jamison Crowder, all 3 of them are healthy week 1, I'm not too worried. But if they are injured and our backups are playing, I am worried. And if that's the case, Le'Veon Bell should be lined up in the slot. He should be lined up in the perimeter. And Adam Gase should be utilizing him way more than just a running back because he's so versatile. Le'Veon Bell's talent is through the roof, and I really think that we're going to see a lot different usage of Le'Veon Bell. I'm really excited to see what Le'Veon Bell can do. We all know what type of shape he's in. He had a diving catch in today's practice. Rich Cimini reported that they kept feeding him the rock and they kept passing him the ball, so he's getting really high volume targets in the passing game, and that's what we want to see, especially like I keep mentioning, this wide receivers are so banged up, so Le'Veon Bell has to step up and become a wide receiver for this team. He can honestly be a starting slot receiver for an NFL football team if he wasn't a running back, you know what I mean? That's how talented he is, so I'm excited to see Le'Veon Bell continuing to get high volume reps, and I'm honestly okay with Frank Gore being the starting running back and Le'Veon Bell being a starting receiver because that's how good he is. Obviously, he should be behind in the backfield and get handoffs as well because that's how good he is. But to go back on what Adam Gase said in today's interview, he said we never really got Le'Veon Bell into space. You know, he's so good at making the secondary guys miss. And I feel like Le'Veon Bell got the ball last year and he was just in the backfield with the defensive line in his face because the offensive line did not block them, obviously. So it's hard for him to break free of the big defensive linemen. But if he can get into that second level and we get Le'Veon Bell into space with the corners and the safeties, that's when Le'Veon Bell's special. That's when Le'Veon Bell can make a guy miss or even just break a tackle because he has insane balance, insane patience. So we need to get Le'Veon Bell the ball in the secondary, whether that's in the slot, a quick slant over the middle, or even just getting him this ball in space. And hopefully this offensive line can open up holes. So I'm extremely excited to see how Adam Gase utilized Le'Veon Bell. I think it's going to be completely different from last year. I think Gase learned from his mistakes, and hopefully he does it in the right way. One player who we did not mention at all throughout the training camp, who is undrafted rookie Kyle Phillips last year, who was an undrafted rookie defensive lineman, he stepped up today and had 2 sacks. That's a good sign of his development because this defensive line is probably the most underappreciated, low-key group in the entire team. This is probably our best position group on the entire team. Knock on wood, luckily there's no injuries at all, so we're still extremely deep. Guys like Kyle Phillips had a really pivotal role last year as an undrafted rookie, and for him to have 2 sacks in the light-up camp today is a good sign that this defensive line is still there, and it's still developing, still getting that cohesion, and I'm so excited to see what this defensive line can do with guys like Steve McClendon leading the group, and then Quinn Williams hopefully will have a breakout season and get interior pressure and open up holes for guys like Jordan Jenkins on the outside. And even Frankie Louvu has been stepping up. I mentioned him in the green and white practice. He had a sack and he looks good. He's a core special teamer. So yeah, the defense is looking great, and the offense is definitely a big question mark because of the injuries. But to see Sam Darnold to lead an impressive drive with the backup receivers, that shows you that Sam Darnold has what it takes to elevate guys around him. Even if there's not a lot of talent, he can really just get the ball in the right position and get the ball into the right spot for these wide receivers to make plays. So I'm excited to see what Sam Darnold can do. I definitely am worried. I'm definitely not confident in these receivers, especially how injured they are, but I'm trying to be optimistic. I think Sam Darnold has what it takes to elevate guys around him. I'm excited to see what happens. Like I said in the beginning of this video, 10 more days until Jets versus Bills. It's really insane. And let me know down in the comment section, do you think the Jets are ready for the Bills? Me personally, I'm definitely not as excited as I thought it would be. I'm really worried, and I think the Bills are battling a lot of injuries as well. So I know the Jets are really banged up. I know the Jets have so many injuries, but we have to remember a lot of teams across the NFL are dealing with injuries. The Jets are not the only one. As Jets fans, we obviously know every single injury that's happening because we know every single player. But if you look around the league, there's a lot of teams dealing with problems like the Jets. Star safety Derwin James on the Chargers, he went down with a season-ending knee injury, unfortunately. And I'm not going to list all these injuries across the league, but you guys get the idea. The Jets are not the only ones, so hopefully Adam Gase and Joe Douglas can adjust, get players on the field, and hopefully just coach the hell out of this team. And this is a huge test for Adam Gase. We saw what Greg Williams can do with the depleted, injured defense last year. Greg Williams maximized their potential. We had backup corners and backup middle linebackers step up and play really good football, and that's purely because of coaching and schematics. This is Adam Gase's time to prove he is an actual head coach. Me personally, I'm not high on Adam Gase. I don't think he's the right man to succeed, but at the same time, I'm rooting for Adam Gase. I want Adam Gase to prove us Jets fans wrong, and this is a huge test for him. There's not a lot of star talent on this offense, and he has to deal with some backup players probably by week 1. So this is a huge test. Great coaches in the NFL can handle injuries and adjust. So we will see what Adam Gase can do. Like I said, leave a comment down below what you guys expect from this Jets team against week 1. And leave a comment on this video as well if you want to see more Madden 21 videos. I will be posting it throughout the week, and I'll also be posting a projection 53-man roster video on this channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for you get notified every time I post a video. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let's go Jets! I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace!